Hey Lindsay, how you doing? So I got your program up here, and thank you so much for submitting early. Right now I'm in the critique, so I noticed that you had also submitted into the um, for final submission. So I guess it would be best to take a look at this first. I guess I see what I'm getting at is I want you to see this critique before you submit your final, so you can make any um, adjustments. So I just thought it was kind of weird that you had submitted the final the same time you submitted the critique. I hope I'm making sense. But anyways, I'll email you just to make sure that you have a chance to know that this is here before if you want to change your final. Couple of things right here on the cover page. Logo's looking good right here. You've got this curve right here. It has got too many points in it. You can see right there's a bend right there. And there's a bend right there. And that doesn't come to a nice point like that one does. Okay, your curves have really got to be organic in this because I'm going to tell you something. If I were looking at a portfolio right now, the first thing I would do is this, and I think you'll be able to see this zoom. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm going to take a look and see that those are all really, really irregular curves. Okay, now if you were sitting in front of me when I was doing that, I would ask you as a designer, I would say, do you know that your curves aren't complete? And I would wait to see what your response was there. So just so you know, not trying to be a dick, I'm just saying that that's how things work. Now, we've talked about making these design decisions, and one of the things I really want to hammer home with you guys is that, design, everything on that page has got to have a reason for being there, okay? Everything. This right here concerns me, where you've taken the O and turned it into a banner and then added text there. That concerns me, and I'm going to tell you why. And for a lack, I'm going to use some studio terminology here, just like if I was talking to one of my designers. You're getting too cute here. All right, don't get too cute. You're trying to do too many things with too little. This has nothing to do with anything turning this O into a banner other than visual, whatever visual merit you as a designer feel should be there, which has nothing to do with the intent of the project. You understand what I'm saying? So in other words, there's an old saying in design that goes like this. If you're doing something, you're looking at a composition and you see something done one time on that composition, it's a mistake. Either get rid of it or turn it into some sort of a repetitious motif or repetitious element. You see what I'm saying? Should never show one thing just one time. Okay, so if this is only shown once, we got to get rid of it. If you're using it again over and over, if you've built that O into your identity where you're turning the O into a banner throughout the rest of the presentation, why absolutely keep it. Okay? This is a good setup. First thing I would do with this page is I would go into Photoshop and I would adjust those colors there to match that blue right there. I think, look at, we change the page. See, I mean, you can do it. You'll get it really super close. You're just going to have to go in Photoshop and do some color replacement. But that's too saturated a transition for this to this. It's just too drastic. Too much contrast, too much saturation. I would really tone that down and that image down quite a bit. Great job here. Again, see what I'm saying? So you've got this, and you've got the banner back there, okay? You've got the banner, but you've used the O in a different way. So we've got an immediate inconsistency on from page 1 to page 3. And I would question that in an interview. Good shot, good. The layout's great. Really, really, really enjoy the 2-column layout. Solid. That's a low res image. That has to go. That might be too. You'd have to check that. Blank page. Good job. Logo development. Good work. There's got to be more. This is okay, but I would like to see a little more. Like, I'd like to see 1 or 2 more steps because obviously you don't go from that to that to that. So there were more steps involved, and I would like to see those. Pictograms, man, listen, pictograms are going to be a big part of this project, Lindsay, so you got to get moving on these things, man. I need to see a lot more pictograms. I want to show you something here in a second that has a little bit to do with your presentation. And one thing your presentation is missing, okay? And I'm going to take you over to week 5. And I'm going to take you over to week 5 presentation, communicating through various forms of media. And I want you to take a look, and this is the first time in this class that we've used this bilingual signage Olympics for Vancouver 2010, which personally I think is the most powerful and beautiful of all Olympics graphics ever. And that's saying a lot, but this is really a nice package. This right here, see these pictograms? They've elected to take their pictograms and use them actually on their banners. So their pictograms are a little bit more detailed than what we're used to seeing as those kind of stick figure sort of things. But look at, this is what I'm saying. I think your presentation is missing one thing, and it's this kind of visual consistency where every page has just got this visual code that is just strictly adhered to on every single page. You've got the colors, you've got the backgrounds, you've got the patterns, you've got the same type of grid structure on every underlying piece, okay? Just really super consistent. And I think that is what we're missing here. That type of, not the logo and the design work, but the accompanying background graphics, okay? And that's what I got. If you have any questions or if I can make sense of anything further, just feel free to give me a holler. But I think you're doing great. Thanks, Lindsay.